Welcome, 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 and salute to all you people in the morning coffee talk. And remember, before we start the show, subscribe. Hit that little guy at the bottom right over there and hit that bell to remind you when I'm on. All right, everybody, I have a wonderful guest. Let me bring him on. Stop the chit chat. He has a new documentary out right here. Stallone, Frank, that is. I'm going to bring him up here. Let's talk to Frank Stallone. Welcome, Frank.
Steve.
How you doing?
Steve,
How you doing?
right?
It's it's Stefan, but Frank, you could call me anything. You're Frank Stallone. I
So is this
first
Stephen Foster or Stephen Fetchit, whatever.
It's coffee talk with ADIKA. Nothing rhymes with that but chicken tikka. We name drop here with Stefan and all his friends.
Good morning, YouTube. It is ADIKA, and that's right. You're here with me and our beautiful cup of coffee. Now, I hope you got it together because today it is part 2 with Mr. Frank Stallone, actor, musician, songwriter. It's going to talk about life, showbiz, ups and downs, it all. But before we go any further, down below, I need you to subscribe if it is your first time. Hit that bell to be reminded. And also, right over, boom, right there, there's a playlist of all old episodes, and scroll through it. Maybe there's something you missed and maybe something I forgot. So let's go revisit that right here. All righty. Now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Because I am. Mr. Frank Stallone. Bam!
You with the filthy apron.
Be back in seconds.
I hear a voice down there, but I sure as hell don't see much. Seems like that beating I gave you last night must have rattled your bells, huh?
Remember ordering a draft, barkeep. What do you want, a brew, or is that lobotomy finally taken home?
But that was a fun movie to do. You know, Mickey suggested me for it, but I had to go and read for it like anyone else.
Oh, you did?
And then they tried to screw me. I had the part already. 2 days before the filming, they announced to Mickey, there's a Hollywood thing. Hey, you know what, man? We're going another way. We're not going to use Frank. We're going another way. And Mickey goes, oh, no, you're not. Because if you do, I'm walking off this movie. Because he did everything you asked him. He read for you. You gave him the role. He's a friend of mine. And now you're going to take it away? He said, no. And so that's how, so if he wouldn't have really gone to bat for me on that,
yeah, it would not have happened, huh? So he stuck by his. That's cool. He stuck by your side on that one. I mean, man, I don't care. It's one of my favorite movies. It's up there. It's a movie I own. There's certain movies that you
it's
have
very
to
hard
have.
to get. You know, it's very hard to get Barfly online.
I have it on VHS.
It's like $90 or something like that because I don't know if there's something legally going on. Maybe there's in the lawsuit. I don't know, but it's not easy to get that.
Frank, I have the old school VHS tape of it, and I won't get rid of it.
I have VHS.
You know,
VHS machine right there. Yeah, I got my turntable VHS. I got a looking over here at an 8-track of my first album, Valentine, on RCA Records.
Oh, do you have it? Can you show it to me?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Is that weird?
That's cool.
Wow. God, man, that is crazy.
That's cool.
The first gold record I ever got. Well, this is platinum one. Is this Rocky?
Awesome.
That was, you know what, man? I was living in a $80 a month apartment in New Jersey, a dump, and I had the gold and platinum albums up. Now you have to understand, for a guy that's in a local bar band that's making maybe $100 a night for the whole group, to have that on the wall in like a ghetto apartment was a big deal then. And I've had them ever since.
Were you ever afraid that somebody come in and try to steal it from you? You know, you have some weirdo. Nah, never.
A lot of people think, yeah, man, I'm going to take that record and melt it. It's not a gold record. It's spray painted gold.
It's not even
a gold record. I know.
It's probably not even the record that the actual record.
Of course not.
It could be a Jack Jones record, as far as you know.
Yeah, it could be Burt Kemper or something. You know, who knows?
Here, right here, we got Mitch saying he had a best friend in that band, Jody.
That's right. That's right. If you see, if Mitch sees the documentary, I don't know if he did.
He did. He did see that.
Well, I took out Jody's Hofner bass, the Beatle bass.
Wow.
Because when he died, you know, Jody and I started together in 1969. Okay. And we were in a band called Bananas, and then we were in a group called Valentine. And that was the group that went up and saw Mitch and the guys play. And Jody got this Beatle bass in 1966, but it's a 63, and it belonged to some guy that was going to Princeton that needed money. So it was from England. It was a real Hofner Beatle bass. And so when Jody unexpectedly died, I said, wait a second, man. I remember that bass from the 60s. And I also remember his Rickenbacker bass that he was very proud of. And I played next to him for many, many years with that bass. And I told the guy, I said, listen, man, what's going to happen to that stuff? He goes, well, you know, they're probably sell it. I said, well, I'll buy them both. I want them. Because I didn't want, not that I'm a bass player, but I just didn't want to see them go into like some wedding band. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to see that happen. And also he had a P bass, which he played for many, many years. I wanted to get that, but I think some other guy, it's a player, got it. But so that's in the documentary. It was just a sentimental thing. Yeah. I just, who knows when I'm dead what will happen with them. But the thing is, it was, well, Mitch plays right-handed now, so I give it to him. No.
Mitch,
yeah.
Mitch is over here. Look, he's right there. I wanted his victim back, Frank.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Mitch. But yeah, so that was part of the thing. And I would have really loved to have had Jody in the documentary because he had a very infectious laugh. He was very funny and had a great warped sense of humor like myself. So that would have been good, you know, but I was happy. Listen, my mother was in it. God rest her soul. She just passed it a month short of 99.
Wow.
Sharp, still drove, sharp as 8 razor blades.
Really? She still drove, huh?
Yeah, she did everything. Had her martinis, you know, at home and stuff. And she was clear as a bell. She went to bed. But that's what she said. She always said, when I go, I just want to go to sleep. And that's it.
That's it.
Never suffered, never sick, never in the hospital, nothing.
Fabulous. So she had a great life. Great life.
Great life. You know?
That's wonderful. That's
and you know, it was just so a lot of people think that this documentary was my idea, which it wasn't. It was an idea of these young filmmakers, Derek Wayne Johnson. And he came to me, he goes, you know what, man, we were talking to you, Frank. We think, you know what, your life would be a really interesting documentary. Of course, I figured they were blowing smoke up me, you know what I mean? So I said, okay. I said, well, how can I help? So I just gave him basically everyone I knew in show business. And I asked them all, and, you know, Danny Aiello, Joe Mantegna, Russ Reagan, who signed me to Polygram Records, and everybody, and they all said yes. And so basically, if you see the documentary, to the people out there, I'm just kind of there. It's not like I'm everywhere, you know. It's mostly people talking about me, and then of course I interject my situation. So people, you know, of course we had some of the critics. Now we get to the critics. Oh, well, he's also the producer on it. I said, I wasn't made producer until the movie was totally finished. So it wasn't like, so they're thinking I was doing the movie as an advertisement for myself, which is not true at all, you know. So, but I'm very proud of it. I think, you know, we did it on a shoestring budget, and there was a great company in England called Branded Studios that brought it to fruition, that brought it to Amazon. That's what is on, folks out there: Amazon Prime, Google Play, and all that stuff, iTunes. And now it's on some airlines, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
Because that's a captive audience. They ain't going anywhere. Right? Harry Nilsson did A Touch of Schmilson tonight, which is a brilliant album. Brilliant. And Harry was a dear friend of mine. I'm like the only guy he ever produced.
And I know time's running for you. I got to ask you. So Harry Nilsson, when I started my show about a year ago, I'm a big Harry Nilsson fan. So I came across his son, Zach. And
he just passed away.
He passed away. And then Zach one day came on my show and he goes, Stefan, can I come on your show and talk about anything about my dad? And why is it okay to put our dogs to sleep, but not us? And it was real heavy. And I go, Zach, I don't know. But
you know what? He was a sweet guy. And you know what? I knew he was like.
And he really was open. And I didn't you know, Frank, I don't even know how to act at my birthday. I'm the type of guy, you get me a gift, I feel awkward, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And then when my grandmother passed away, I didn't even know how to cry. So in birth or death, I don't know how to act. It's just I'm
No,
just not.
some people just
You know,
absorb it a different way.
and he came to me, he goes, "Look," he goes, "I want to do this." And I'm like, "Okay." And we start the show like just raw, and he was real. He's a sweetheart, and God bless him. And I was very honored to meet him. And when you talk about Harry, he had so many stories he would share with me. Actually, he's on the album behind me. You probably can't see it somewhere. Son of Schmielson. He's in there with his dad and his mom. It's a
You
cute
know,
little
I
picture.
live. No, Harry and I live next door to each other.
I know, and I wanted to ask you now because you
Yeah.
have a lot of story because your
Yeah.
brother called you up, and I'll let you say it. You say it better than me. Tell the story.
First time, listen, I was a Nilsson fanatic. Okay, in the '60s, '70s, I probably listened to Aerial Ballet, Harry, and all those things a million times.
Yeah.
And he was on RCA Records. So we were on RCA Records. First time we came to California, we go up to RC Records. Don Berkheimer, I think, was the president at that time. This is like '77 with the whole group. Now, Jody and I were real Nilsson freaks, man. Okay. So they goes, okay, boys, why don't you just sit for a little bit? We'll get back to you. He's in the office with Mr. Nilsson. I said, Harry Nilsson? She goes, yes. I go, and Jody and I, like, we just go, are you like kidding me? Like we freaked.
Wow.
Like, all of a sudden we became like idiots, right? I said, so we walk in the office, and the office was kind of dark. And there was a bottle of like whiskey there and shot glasses. In those days, it was a different world. So the president's having drinks with Harry. And I walked in, and Harry was there. He was very tall. He's about 6'3". And I just, he says, oh, this is one of our new acts on our set. I said, Harry, I just got to tell you, seriously, Jody and I are like the biggest fans. I got every record you ever made. I've listened to him 100 times. And he became such a nice guy. He would write me when I lived in
Wow.
New Jersey. So I moved out to California, right? And unbeknownst to me, my brother goes, hey, you know who lives next door? I said, who's that? He goes, Harry Nilsson. I go, get out of here, man. Are you serious? I mean, I used to listen to Harry Nilsson when I was going through my nervous breakdown, panic attacks. And all of a sudden, now I'm living next door. So I wrote a letter to him and put it in his mailbox. Never heard back for maybe half a year, months. And I figured, well, whatever. All of a sudden, I pick up the phone. Hey, Sta, it's Schmiel. I go, Harry, God. He goes, yeah, man, I just got back. I was in Malta for like a half year doing Popeye, writing the music.
Yeah.
And he came back, and we just became fast friends. He had the greatest parties. I mean, you go to his parties, George Harrison, Ringo, Marty Feldman, Joni Mitchell, you name it.
Wow.
They were there. And I lived right next door. And I used to, man, and he was a dear friend of mine. And and it's not hidden. He didn't take care of himself.
Yeah.
He drank too much. He did too many drugs. He didn't really take care of himself. And so the fast forward, we're at the Roxy, and we're there to see Jimmy Webb, who I knew well because he was close with Harry, So I'm sitting there in the audience with a few people, and we're going to see Jimmy Webb. And I think it was Stu Lerner came because, yeah, Harry won't be able to make it tonight. He had some oral surgery. And I said, oh, man, he was going to sit right next to me. And the next day he was dead.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And it was
wow.
really, really sad. And I called Sammy Hagar. I said, Sam, Harry's dead. He goes, oh, man. Because he was also a big fan. Everyone liked Harry, Why is he not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
He's not, huh? Harry is not.
No, but Nina Simone and Joan Baez are, and Run DMC, but not Harry Nilsson, who, by the way, the two records he released, the singles, both won Grammys. He beat out Strangers in the Night with Everyone's Talking.
That's pretty wild.
Pretty
Everybody's which I have that album, from Midnight Cowboy, which
Yeah.
is a great album. I mean, Harry Nilsson, that was my introduction, the movie Midnight Cowboy, everybody's talking. Then I went down the rabbit hole. And of course, as you could tell from the hat, and all that, the East
That's
Coast
right.
hat, the hat, and Harry, he's a big influence. I'm a huge Beatle fan, and John
Me
Lennon's
too.
one of my favorite. And I know,
Story when I
everybody who's watching in the document, you once you see Frank, you're gonna want to call him up and want him to be your best friend, because that documentary, not only does it show you Frank, it makes you feel like you know you. And I felt like I was watching it yesterday. I didn't want to scare you, so I'm watching it while I'm working out on my Peloton machine. I know, don't judge me, Frank.
Okay.
So I'm watching, and I'm getting the heart rate's up, and I'm like, oh my God, Harry Nilsson in this. I feel connected. I gotta write to him. I go, slow down. Just see if the guy wants to even talk to you, Stefan. But man,
No, I'm happy I did the show stuff, but I'll tell you what, it was pretty weird to be in the studio recording with all those people that played in John Lennon's band.
that's what I was just going to go with you,
To
because
get the news that he's dead.
yeah, tell me about that, man.
Well, I was in the recording studio recording. Harry was producing. We had Jim Keltner on drums. We had Klaus Vorman on bass. Jesse Ed Davis, Van Dyke Parks, yada yada. All the guys that played with John. Okay, Klaus had known him since 1961 in Germany, right? So I'm sitting there, and Mark Hudson was in there too. He was there at night, and I'm sitting there. I'm in the glass, and I'm, they're in the booth, the recording room, and I'm sitting there, and I'm seeing them talking, and I'm in between like takes. I'm there. What the hell's going on here? That people are just talking about, and all of a sudden Harry hits the talkback. Goes, John's dead. I said, John who? He said, Lennon. I go, oh shit! Wow. I mean, you're talking about his best friends. Freddie Tackett was also in there too. So I said, well, this recording session, we were recording for Scotty Brothers. I said, this recording session is definitely over. So I went back in the booth, and I mean, talk about dark and depressing. These guys crying. It was horrible, man.
It was hard. You can remember that like yesterday, man.
Oh yeah.
That vision.
I remember it was like yesterday.
Yeah.
And the sad thing about it was, of course, all these guys knew John well. The sad thing that makes it sad is that Harry was going to be like, go to New York like the next week and kind of rekindle his relationship with John, because they'd had, that was the whole thing with the tampon on the head at the troubadour, drunk getting thrown out, and so Yoko at that moment was not a fan of Harry's. Okay, but of course they became friends later, and it was tragic. And then Harry died. He was only 53 or 54.
So young. I think his heart gave out, right? I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was. Look, I think it was. I took him to go see a Jellyfish concert at the Palladium because they really liked
Jellyfish the band.
Yeah, and they're great.
Yeah, the guy that I was in a band with, Eric Dover, it was in
Eric.
Jellyfish. You know Eric Dover?
Was he from like Alabama or somewhere?
Yeah, Eric Dover's the singer for the band I do, the Sunset Winos. And I was trying to get you to come down back when we were playing. He was the singer with me and Slim Jim, and I wanted to get you to come jam with us.
I remember he used to play Gold Firebird.
He played gold, but he had a gold Les Paul, and we did a part. Now
they were great. I got to tell you,
Beatley meets Queen. They were so fabulous. The drummer did the stand-up drum. Frank,
Andy, the drummer.
The drummer.
So I brought Harry to them. And Harry had like a cane. He had like phlebitis. He had all kinds of physical problems, right? Yeah. So I get him to he kind of waddles backstage with his cane. And the drummer, the lead singer, was like, wow, he was like enamored. But I will tell you this, they were one of the best groups I ever saw.
Hands down.
Oh, man, they were tight. Great. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
It's another thing. It's just like here you're Far From Over. These are great. That's why I went searching for Staying Alive, the album right here, and I found it. And Jellyfish is another one. It's these
Spilt Milk. That album, Spilt Milk, man. And then that group
Milk.
After that was in Jellyfish. Remember he started a group called the Grays?
Yes.
They were great. One album,
Really quick. So Harry, you took him to the Jellyfish show after that, huh? And
Yeah,
that
I
was
took him to the Jellyfish show. He was not well.
he was not
You know,
well.
he
But
was always trying to quit smoking. It's amazing he sang as good as he did for as much as he smoked, but he did too much coke and he really
Mhm.
drank a lot. I mean, I'm telling you, a lot. He did everything a lot. That was him.
I
I
mean,
loved
wow.
him to death. He was, you know, he didn't like everybody, but he loved me and I loved him because he was just fun to be around. He was smart. He had great, just great panache. You know
He's
what I
from
mean?
Brooklyn. He was a Brooklyn guy. I think maybe it was the
Right.
East Coast, and you're a Philly guy, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's from Brooklyn.
He's from
But I
Brooklyn. Yeah.
still, you know, I still bump into some of his friends, but you know, they're like 90 years old, like Stan Dorfman, who did all his
Wow.
videos, Perry Botkin, who just died, who was his partner. I know his lawyer. He's still around. It's listen, time stops for no one. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So it's like
it
it's
does
just the
not.
way it goes. But I've been very fortunate, you know, with all the, you know, 10 steps forward and 20 steps back.
Hmm.
But that's life. You know,
You get
it's just the way it goes, man. And
we
either
it is the
hang
way
or
it
you don't.
goes. It
Who
is.
was this guy?
Debbie goes, did Frank ever write a book? Well, the documentary is almost like the book, but did you ever think about doing a book, Frank?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you
I
did? Did you?
Yeah, I did. I'm thinking about it. I'm not a big name guy because you know there are people that are still alive and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But if they're assholes, I don't care. But I mean, but people that are, you know, listen, it was rock and roll, wasn't it? I mean, I was never really well, not wasn't. I wasn't like a drug person, so I wasn't part of that culture. But you know, we had our moments. You know? I mean, listen,
Y
you're a 20-some-year-old guy. There's plenty of women around. There was
Yeah.
plenty of everything, but it wasn't like deviant. But I would like to do a book,
Uh,
and because I think my experiences, excuse my voice, are a little different than others because
mm,
one, what I was privy to because of my brother. Okay, that's one. So I was privy to a lot of stuff that was going on behind the scenes
mhm.
that maybe other people wouldn't see, you know. And you'd be surprised people that are really famous go through the same nonsense as people that are in bar bands. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, so it's just a different level, but you do go through it.
You do go through it. You know, Frank, your story, it's out now. The documentary's on Amazon. I'm gonna put all the links down below. You guys out there, please check it. I know I took
Yeah,
so much
and
of
I'm
your
really easy
time.
to find on Instagram. I mean,
Yeah.
Frank.Stallone, Facebook at Frank Stallone, and my
Mhm.
website, frankstallone.com. But also, I have a guitar company called Frank Stallone Guitars, and we have a new guitar coming out. Everything is made in the United States.
Oh, wow.
Everything, and which is kind of rare now. And we're kind of proud of that. We had a guitar company that was going to make a guitar, all the parts made in Italy, but being Italian, I'll be dead by the time I get the guitar. I mean, those people, like, you know, you order something, you get it like 20 years later. So that's Italy. What's
Well,
wrong with
you got good genes, Frank. I don't know. I think, you know, your mom, 99, God bless her. And you know what? I think you
Dad,
could be,
92?
92. You got good genes and you're working out, you're eating right, you're taking care of
Yeah,
yourself.
we're
I think
best friends. You know, but the thing is this, look, man, you want to stay around as long as you can when you still have the people you love around. I mean, you know, my mother was, you know, fortunate. You know, my sister died,
Mhm.
so you know, so my mother had her tragedies as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? She had me around, my brother around, so she had a group of friends. Boy, you know, she was a real character. She
Yeah.
had she had a really interesting group of friends.
Man, I'm getting right here. People are right. Can't wait to watch the documentary. And Donnell, you got to watch it. It's excellent. There's so much. There's more. We didn't even touch on it. Where Frank walks into a guitar shop and gets shot. I don't want to give it away. Just
Yeah,
check it out. It's heavy. Everybody in the link. Follow Frank. I'll put all the good stuff there. We'll find out about his
great.
guitars. And Frank, we got to do another one.
So this is live, actually, right?
It's only live in Patreon. See, hey, you see these people watching?
Yeah.
They're my people. They're
There you go.
small, but they're powerful. And the other people, they're too cheap to join. So you people on Patreon, I love you. Frank loves you. I want you to support Frank. I want you to tell him that you found him through ADIKA.
Oh,
And
Stefan, I mean, I got to tell you, it's a real pleasure. And let's do it again.
we will do it again. Before you go, Frank, everybody, we're signing off. God bless you all, everybody. We love you. Frank loves you. Check out the documentary in the link below. Bye, everybody. Mwah. Boom. We're out. I want to thank Mr. Frank Stallone for being here this morning with you and I. Also, check out our playlist. There's a lot of good stuff there that you might have skipped over. And if you're looking to find Frank's documentary, please go to Amazon. The link will be in our description down below. Other than that, everybody, one thing I got to ask you. Who loves you, baby? We do. I'll see you all later, kids. Mwah. Bam.
It's coffee talk with ADIKA. Nothing rhymes with that but chicken tikka. We name drop here. With Stefan and all his friends.
You're not getting rid of me that quick. Before we go, I need one favor. I need you to click over there or click over there for some other good episodes, or maybe there or maybe right there. But you know what? We'll catch you all later, everybody. God bless. Mwah. See you later. Bye.